I'm Julie Ziegler, and I came to Lindale in originally 2019. I decided to move closer to my two daughters who live in this area, and my daughter who lives in Lindale, she and her husband invited me to live on their land, and I wanted a modular home or a mobile home. So my daughter and I came to Pratt Homes. It was our first stop, and looked at a home that I fell in love with. I wasn't ready to buy yet because I'm a Dave Ramsey debt-free kind of girl, and I wanted to have everything paid for in cash before I bought. So when I came back, Chuck Conklin is the gentleman who helped me, and we immediately formed a bond when he started telling me about the different homes I had seen and which one was good and which one was better. And before he said the next one, I said, are you selling me good, better, best? And Chuck turned just red. And I told him that I was Zig Ziglar's daughter. And that was a sales technique that my father taught. And I love sales. Daddy loves sales. So I enjoyed listening to Chuck, and we just had the best time. Well, I wasn't able to purchase my home until, I guess it was 2022. I got it bought, and I paid cash. I already had everything set up for it, and I just love my home. But the most awesome thing is the home that I fell in love with, the manufacturer had quit building it. But Chuck went and found a manufacturer who would build it especially for me. And I sure hope they sell a lot of that model, because I'm a widowed woman. I didn't need a whole lot of space, but I did want 2 rooms, a guest room, my room, and a place that I could do my office. So I put that in the guest room. But I did all kinds of upgrades. We totally made it my house. I got to pick the molding I wanted. I added a fireplace, a linear fireplace. It blows heat. It's awesome. It has windows almost from the floor to the ceiling. I just love it. I even got those motorized special blinds because the windows are so high. My ceiling is very, very high. I feel like I'm outside when I'm inside. I have a view of a pine forest, and when I look out the front, I can see my horses up in the pasture. It is gorgeous. But I have formed many friends up here at Pratt Homes. I stop in to visit. It's a place where you just feel like it's family. But the best thing is you're just well taken care of. Everybody cares. I know so many of the salespeople in the front office, because when you come in, if the person you came to see is not there, anybody's happy to visit with you. And I just love that about Pratt Homes. It was just a place where I knew the owner cared about this community. And when somebody is willing to pour into a place, that's a good sign that they're interested in helping people. And it's not just about the dollar. A big heart goes a long, long way. I felt like it was a company that was very reputable, and I talked to many different people, and it just happened to have the best reputation in all of Tyler. So that's why I came to Pratt Homes. Plus, when you drive by the lot, you just see a different quality of home, and I love how they back up their products. When I started looking for a house, I was very specific about the things I wanted in it. I wanted a beautiful kitchen. I wanted a master bedroom that had a beautiful shower with a seat in it. The one I picked didn't originally have a seat, but they were happy to stick it in there for me. I wanted plenty of wall space in the master to be able to put my piano in there, and they actually moved a closet door for me from the inside of the bedroom to the inside of the bathroom, so I would have a place to put my recliner where I like to do my devotionals and just study at night. That was a big thing. But the biggest thing for me is I wanted high ceilings and I wanted windows everywhere. Well, I got the windows. They're almost from the floor to the ceiling. I feel like I'm sitting outside when I'm in my house. Because I am widowed and I'm by myself, I knew that I didn't need more space than about, I think I ended up with 1,180 square feet. And that was a lot compared to the 40-foot long RV I lived in while I saved the money to buy this home. I didn't mind doing it though, because I felt outside, really outside in that place. It was pretty narrow, but I love my home because I can see out everything. And I went the extra mile and I bought those motorized vans or blinds that I just click and they go up and they go down, because I knew those windows are so high I couldn't reach up and down just to push those shades up. So I got the automatic shades, and I suggest you do the same thing if you get windows that are as awesome and high as mine. And you can pick whatever you want, and that's what I did. But I wanted the 2 bedrooms, the 2 baths. I was at an age where I didn't want too many visitors at one time, because I came from a 3,100 square foot home with a big horse barn, a huge shop, and I tell you, the best thing about making this move was getting rid of stuff. I love simplicity. I like a clean look. I don't have a lot of knickknacks because I'd rather spend my time having fun than dusting. And I want you to know this house is tight. I have the lowest electric bills that I have had really in any house I've ever lived in. And when Chuck was telling me about how these homes are built, because there are laws in place that are very specific to mobile and modular homes that are required, that are even better than in a stick-built home that your builder would build for you. I wanted a home that if I did have to move, because you know how it is, children change their minds about where they want to live. I wanted to be able to take it with me if that ever became an option. But I was able to get a home that's gorgeous. I don't like picking stuff out. I knew I wouldn't be happy trying to build a home. I just want to walk in and go, oh, I like this. And that's what I did. And that's what I found. For me, I'm just not a decision maker about decorating. As a matter of fact, my dad used to laugh at me because when I was between high school and college, he had me take one of those personality profiles that kind of shows what you're more or less born to do. I got -2 on home decorating. So I wanted it already done. And it was a beautiful experience for me, just being able to walk in and go, I like this. And all I had to do was pick the color of the flooring, the color of the paint, and the countertops. And that's pretty much it. And the rest of it was easy. I just waited for them to bring it in. And that was a happy, happy day. Well, COVID created some surprises during my home purchase. It did take a little longer than we had initially planned, but not much. I was surprised that I did get it as soon as I did after I ordered it. I think that Chuck Conklin had a lot to do with helping to push that a little faster. But the surprises were few in that regards. I think one of the bigger surprises was how Encore, who provides electricity out here, had gone up so much from the last time I built my horse barn up there. I found out that they were charging a little more, but Encore is great to work with, at least they were for me, and we were able to put in all of my electricity all the way to the house without me having to pay any extra. So in spite of the fact that they'd gone up, and they were still giving you 200 feet, and I didn't have to hire anybody to dig further. And I already had my water put in up to the RV that I was living in, so it wasn't far to get back to my house. My pad went in beautifully, and it did rain once and some of it washed out, but the man that had been referred to me came right out and packed it back down, and by the time the house came, everything was settled and we were ready to go. There was a little bit of wait on some of the special things like caulking. I found out that when they move, modular mobile home, when they put up the molding, they don't squish it all together because the house has to be able to flex when it's on the road. So when it arrived, see, I didn't know this before it arrived. I walked in and I saw these spaces and I thought, ooh, they forgot to caulk that. But they didn't forget. It's just the way that it has to travel. And they came in and fixed every single thing. They hung up the mirrors. They don't hang mirrors before it comes either. There's a lot of stuff that they have to do. It's like if you're moving in an RV and it's on the road, you can't have loose stuff around. So when I first walked in, I was like, oh, but they came and they did all that good stuff and made it all right. And it was great. If there was anything that I wasn't pleased with, it didn't matter how small it was. It got taken care of right away. One of the big changes since I moved in the house is my grandson, who's been off at college, had this job where he was working in Dallas during the week and asked could he come and stay in my house on the weekends. And of course, it's my grandson. I said, yes, you can come. And the other day, he decided to change jobs, and now he's going to be working from home in my house. And I love it. He'll be the second grandson that I have had living with me while they kind of get settled and started it in their life. And my other grandson was just like a few months older than this grandson. So anyway, that's a big change, but there's plenty of room. And I found out that 22-year-olds spend a lot of time in their room anyway, so I don't see much. That's kind of sad. But I love the house, and I get to see a lot of wildlife where I am. Coyotes and deer and raccoons. I haven't seen the skunks, but I've smelled the skunks. But I just look out, I just sit, I set everything up. My desk is where I can see out the window. I look at the horses in the pasture from my work desk. And then my table where I drink my coffee, I see in the pine forest behind us. And we have a huge spring-fed pond at the end of the property. And that's part of why we have so many critters on our land. And that's essential to me. I couldn't have done it without a place that was willing to put the windows I needed in the house that I wanted. If you're considering getting a modular mobile home, what I would suggest is that you start looking for land now. And you need to decide if you want to live within the city limits, which is sometimes a little dicey trying to find a lot there, or how rural that you want to be. And I will tell you, the more rural you go, the more apt that you're going to find a place you'll really love living. When you're looking for land, try and look for a piece of land that already has water and electric to the front. That will simplify the cost of setting up your home. If you're really lucky, you'll find a piece of land you love that has previously had a modular mobile home on it, and hopefully the septic system and the water and the meter will all still be in place. That'll save you a pretty good little chunk, and it just helps. So if you're on a tight budget, make that land goal your goal. And just know that when you're looking at Realtor.com, which is the best place to look for lots and land, acres, that sort of thing, just be sure that you notice where the water and electric come into the place and if modular and mobile homes are allowed on the property. And if it says deed restrictions, you need to ask your agent to find out if modular mobile homes are allowed, if there's no mention of it in the listing. I would give my Pratt home experience a 9. Aww. And the only reason it's not a 10 is because, well, I don't want y'all to think that I'm just all Pratt, but I am. So it's really a 10. I do have plans, exciting plans for me, to build a screened-in front porch. That is what I'm going to do, and I'm going to build a ramp because I have, somehow or other, I just have a whole lot of friends who are wheelchair bound, and I want them to be able to come in and visit me. I do have a plan for my screened-in porch, and I'm going to put a doggy door, and then my dogs are going to be able to use the ramp too, because I've never had a dog that didn't get old and need one. So that's exciting to me, and one of the reasons I want to do the screened-in porch is I want to have a little sidewall because you have to have storm doors on your modular mobile home. It's necessary. But if I enclose it where no weather can get to it, I can open that storm door and put my doggy door in and leave it open. I love for my dogs to let themselves in and out because they keep me getting up and down all day long. I would tell anybody who's wondering if it's a good idea to buy a modular manufacturer mobile home. If they're on the fence and can't decide, whatever their concern is, there is an answer that will put your mind at ease. I can tell you that the way the homes are built really is a higher level of quality, security, safety factors. I mean, the government got involved long ago in making sure that these homes were as safe as they could be. And it really is true. They are very often far better built than a lot of the stick-built homes that you'll find. And especially after this COVID situation where we couldn't get lumber for a long time and the prices were sky high, a lot of builders may have lowered their standards, but that cannot happen in this industry. I love the fact that these homes can be moved with you if you want them to. You can put them on a foundation if you want to, the majority of them at any rate, and just get information on how the homes are built, and your mind will be at ease.